Don't you hate being lied to? Me too. So today what I'm going to do is unpack some lies that you've been handed and let you see some evidence that I think is pretty fascinating. Hold on to your hats. First thing I'm going to do is show you a map, and I want to point out Babylon to you. Not just one Babylon, not just two Babylons, but three different Babylons that have existed over time, and yet people only want to focus on one. So, what I did earlier is went on Google Maps, and on Google Maps, I went to a place that I've showed people years ago, right up here in Canada. You see this perfect circle? Well, this perfect circle that is up in Canada, in Quebec, is called the Louis Babel Reserve, right? Well, I've talked about that a whole lot before, and how at the center of this reserve is Mount Babel, located in the center, and it looks just like a whole bunch of rubble, okay? But what I want to focus on first is the outline of this thing, which is a literal perfect circle. If you know, the occults, which goes all the way back to Babylon, have always been obsessed with the number 33. And if you pay attention to the first Tower of Babel built by Nimrod, you'll know that it is 33 miles wide. Well, this is 33.34 from dead center, both directions, 33.34 miles wide. And as I said, Mount Babel rubble sitting directly in the center of this thing. And if you pay attention to the Word of God, you know that his Babylon existed in Cana, Canaans, okay? Cana, which is why this resides in Canada, Canada, Cana, okay? And yes, it was literally known as Cana. And if you read the book of Jasher, you'll see that 1/3 of the Tower of Babel was swallowed by the earth. The earth opened up its mouth and swallowed 1/3 of it. Well, if you have a great tower hollowed out at the bottom like this, okay, and the earth was to swallow it, like suck it in, would it not leave an indentation the whole way around that would leave where the walls were, sucked into the ground and filled up with water over time? Well, being Babylon of Nimrod was a worldwide kingdom, hence why he brought everyone together with a one world language and a one world mindset. Well, it was split up into three parts. The first part was swallowed up by the earth. A second part was destroyed by fire that descended out of heaven. And then a third part was some of the tower was left remaining for a time and described as being quite high. Now watch this. The people were divided into three sections. There were the warriors, which was a group who wanted to climb to heaven and fight God with bows and spears. In response, 1/3 of the tower was swallowed by the earth. But then you have the idolaters, which was the second third. This group wanted to set up their own gods in heaven to be served. And in response, 1/3 of that tower was burned by fire. Then you have the shooters. This is the third one. This group shot arrows at the sky, which God made fall back down and covered in blood to fool them into thinking they had succeeded. But then 1/3 of their tower remained standing, perhaps as a last monument to their confusion and failure. Well, if you take a look at the whole earth, you'll see that the most scorched place in the whole earth is in Judah, Utah, in which there's a Tower of Babel located in Moab right here. And like I said, but as I pointed out yesterday, okay, Nimrod on through Osiris and all the others were obsessed with sun worship and phallus worship, okay? This is why, if you look in the exact same location where this Tower of Babel is, you see the phallus. But not just the phallus. You also see things like the Great Wall. You see Moab giants right over here. You also see this place called the Petrified Park, in which there's the petrified dunes, there's the petrified walls, there's the petrified arches, all surrounding this. According to our list, 1/3 swallowed, check. 1/3 burned by a fire that came down from heaven, unlike anything in this world, hence the most scorched place in the whole entire world, check. But then let's get to this third part remaining, right? Where could that third part be in this global kingdom? Well, Iran, where it says some structures are still standing, largely thanks to extensive reconstructions, rebuilding. So, If they lied to you about those things and never told you those things, what else have they lied to you about? Could most of the things that you've been handed in history and geography class be a lie? You tell me.